Hello and welcome everybody at the title Tuesday. I am Woman Grandmaster Katie Tasalashvili and I will be the host for today. The games will start in about 2 minutes and you can already see down here the players list, and we see Hikaru, the number 1, Alexander Zubov is number 2, and so on and so on. We also see Alexander Bortnik, the player who plays really awesome chess. I believe that there will be more players joining at the last moment. Let's now take a look at the prize fund and also at the format. So for today, we have $750 for the winner of the event. Second place will get $400. Third place will take $150. And the prize is also for fourth place. This is $100. The best female chess player will get $100 and best streamer will get $100 as well. So I think there are many streamers streaming right now, so you can support them, but never forget to come back here at this channel, and also don't forget to like the channel and you can see more and more events. Now let's take a look at the format. We're gonna have 11 rounds. So that's going to be a long day, so please don't go anywhere. Then the event is happening every Tuesday. Depends where you are. You can check out also the time schedule. For me, that's 7 p.m. Central European time, evening time. The time control is 3 minutes with only 1 second increment. This time control is very tricky, very tricky. And if we have a tie breaks, we're going to see that in the end. So let's come back at this point and check out the players. Oh, we have started. What's that? There's a new player here on the first place. I don't know what's happening, but the tournament has not started yet. So the first round. Oh yeah, that started. Okay, that started. That's why I saw that first victory. So it means that someone already won. Let me get there. I believe we don't see the full board, so I will just adjust this very quickly. So you can see first game. Here we have. Yeah, this should be okay. All right, here we have Hikaru with white pieces against FIDE Master from Armenia. Hikaru is a leader. There's no question about that. He's a favorite of the event. And here we have this position, knights versus bishops, and the position is very close. That means that knights are way much better here in this position. And white's idea is to just get knight on d5 square, then double the rooks on d file and try to attack on d6. But that's only one weakness. Then white has to create second weakness. But I think black is doing a good work here for white. b5. I'm not sure about this move. It's a very ambitious move here for black, because as you can see, rook now is lifted on third rank. There will be some rook c3, knight b3, knight c6 ideas. I would not play b5. But this is blitz. So you can try any of this move. So hello everybody, I see the chat as well, and just let me know if you have your favorites. I can quickly go to there. We have hundreds of players right now, and also please keep in mind that World Cup is going on at the same time. So I hope that some of the players are joining from the playing venue. I mean from the hotels. So here we have c4 move. Hikaru is trying to open up the king. You can see there is a pin on b file. Rook should go on b7. That's the only move I see for now. And after rook b7, then d6 pawn will be unprotected. Now instead he goes for b4. He's trying now to close the king side. Once again, b5 was not the best option here. But he's trying. He wants to find some active defense, active counterplay. But once again, let's pay attention to this bishop. That's very sad. Bishop blocked at the same color as the most of the black pawn, and white has very comfortable play here. As you can see, also white has an edge on the time, 2 minutes versus 50 seconds. That should be not very hard for Hikaru to convert. And other rating favorites players are also playing. So let's stick with this game. C5. Black cannot capture the pawn, neither with queen or pawn, because there is a pin on d file. And after g6, knight can simply come back on e3. Or okay, that's free pawn actually. No, that's better. That's better. Now white can capture with both pieces, but rook takes actually gives more chances here for white to win the game easily. Next can be c6, c6 move, or just rook d5 just to block every black strat and win that game. Alexander Zubov, who is number 2 at the event, has already won the first game. And I say Giga Hoparaz, this is Georgian player who is actually playing Title Tuesdays very well, and once he even won the tournament, and he became such a hero in my country after that victory. All right. Beautiful. Rook a8, that wins the queen, and we might see a resignation here. There's no point to continue this game. Meanwhile, we can switch to the game of Alexander Bortnik. He's playing against Master Croquet. So Bortnik, having almost 3,000 rating, is playing against 2457. So we know the rating favors over here. Black, on the other hand, is holding position really well. Black is very active. My only concern is this king is too open. Sometimes it can be too much. Like 96 now can be a threat with queen g7 ideas. So here we have rook f8, queen e7. Again, same ideas. 96 is a fork. Very bad fork. So I wonder if you guys were expected any players from World Cup to join this. I think yes, because the most of the strong players are joining World Cup from round 2. So still we have round 1 at that tournament. So that makes me think that we might have here actually strong guys playing. Do we have some more games? Yes, we have. We have many games. Let me find someone who I might know. No, I don't. Yeah, the names and... Okay, this one might be interesting. White has an extra pawn on queen side. But wait, black has actually an extra piece. That pawn was for a piece. Yeah, black has an extra bishop. Should not be hard to convert. Just now capture on e2 and play knight d4 or knight d4 immediately. And there is a pass pawn on d3, soon to be on d3 I said actually. And rook comes on c file. Rook c1 was a checkmate there, but he likes to play this game probably. Rook e2 maybe now. No, there's a check. g5. Only 1 second increment here, so players are just making the moves they're finding. And after e6, white also loses a queen. Yeah, there's not even a hope for stalemate, because there are plenty of pawns on the queen side as well. So here we have, this game is already ended. What do you have more? Let me check it. Another Grandmaster against Joker Smile is playing this. This is completely winning for white. I think white just pre-moved now all the way down to e8. It's gonna be a win. Yeah, less than 10 games in progress. One of the grandmasters. Let's take a look. Oh no! Oh no! Knight and Derek versus Rick. No, it's gonna last forever. No. Also very tricky. Also very tricky. In this position, what I know when I'm defender, I know that king shouldn't come on the last rank. Should be in the center. So knight cannot make a mating net there in the center. Oh, this gonna last forever, this game. Or not. The king is on the first rank. Then knight d4 comes. Rook d7. Only move here. No, there's no more check, but there's not a checkmate either. So let's see if black managed to use this advantage, and now king is out. Okay. Do we have 50 moves rule here? I hope yes. I really hope yes. Otherwise, we're gonna stay here for a long period. But also, I have seen myself some games where knight and rook won a game, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. There can be some mouse slip and whatsoever. Okay, again, the king is in the corner. Black has another chance now. Let's see. It is 117th move so far. And here we have it. Seems like we have 50 moves rule. That can be 50 or 70 moves rule. If somebody knows, please just let me know. And that was the end of the round 1. Round 2 is in action. Yeah, and here we have already the next game. This is round 2. Hikaru goes with g6 on for d4. That's interesting. That's interesting how it's playing against London system. I forgot this move. How can I forget the name of the London system? Nowadays, this is so popular. Let me quickly check how many players do we have for the moment. We have 456 players. So that means that despite the fact that there is a World Cup, still many players are joining the tournament. That's awesome. It's really nice. I see Abhijit Gupta from India, one of the top grandmasters. Also Sergei Zhigalko. Yeah, there are many of top players. All right, let's focus on this game here. As I know that this setup is the best against London system. I again forget the name against London system. So if you are the one who is annoyed by London system because everybody plays that, you can check out actually Hikaru's game. He's playing the best way against it with the g6 setup. So what is so good here? After bishop h4, is he going for g5 f4 idea? That can be an idea. g5, bishop g3, and f4, just to lock the bishop on h2, and then try to develop the queenside pieces. That are how I would play here. But he's thinking, that's interesting. He's thinking probably, yeah, bishop f6. He doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to do that, but somehow he has to take care of the queenside pieces as well. Now he goes g5. That's interesting approach. That's interesting approach. Yeah, definitely he wants to attack on the king side. We might see some maneuvering, knight on g6. Bishop will be open on h3. And then will be pawn break for sure on the king side with f4, e4, g4. Any of those. White is meanwhile trying to put up some pressure on the queen side, but of course it's better to attack the king. That pays off. That gives us better result, of course. So bishop h5 stops the attack for the moment. and black has to unpin the rook, and he's going with bishop f7 and then knight h4 probably. That's his idea. Bishop f7, here we have on the board. And rook takes on a6. Yeah, white got actually open b file. Now he will attack the pawns on the queen side, and here we have knight b5, pressing c7 square, but rook e7 so far controls everything. Hard to find here any plan for black, for whites. Black's plan is quite easy. Now knight will move somewhere on h4 probably, and then just push the pawns. F, E, G, any pawns. That's okay. But instead he goes this combination. Yeah, this is also something. This is also something. The opponent allowed him to grab a pawn, central pawn. Why not to take it? Yeah. With all the weaknesses on the queen side, also it's hard to move the rook. My only concerns are the pushed pawns on G and F for black, but there is not much to worry about because bishop and two knights and the queen they are on the king side, so there will be no nasty checks on this side. And he's going to get another pawn on a5. Yeah, this is full domination. This is full domination. And once again, he has more time than an opponent. Let's take a look to the other game if we have something interesting. Yeah, there's the other game will end really quickly, so I will just remain this board. Yeah, if you wonder why white is not capturing b6 pawn, that's because the rook on a8 is hanging. This pin on this diagonal is really strong. Now knight is hanging also on d2, and wherever the knight moves, then c4 pawn will be hanging. But that's just a start. That's just a start. Rounds 2 out of 11, so anyone can come back. And there are 4 main prizes and 2 extra prizes for women and for streamers. So anything can happen. Yeah, black got a pawn now, and he's trying to press even more. Now he's trying to trade the pieces. That's the best strategy. That's the strategy I'm doing from the move 1. even though I don't have anything extra. But if you have extra material, of course, this is the best strategy to eliminate as much pieces as possible and get into the end game where you have extra material and you can just easily win. So here we have a check, and d5 next move. No, d5 will allow knights to jump on e5 at some point. He's thinking here. He has to defense d6 square, but anyway he goes with d5. And here we have queen e3. I told you, Hikaru, he didn't really listen to me. Now b6 is hanging. Yeah. But anyway, this is not dramatic change here for black. After g4, now the dark squares are also up weak. He's aiming to get queen on e5, but on the way, the pawn on c6 was gone. I really wish to have this bar. I really wish to have this bar on the side. That helps me a lot. I think after the break, after our first break, I will just manage to put the bar on the screen. That helps me a lot. So I know what is happening, what's really going on. Okay, queen e5 was a check, and here we have result. Black won here. You can say the time is out for white. That was interesting game. That was really interesting game. The things warmed up in the end of the game. And here we have a rook end game. Rook end game. Some people claim that it's a draw. I don't know. It's hard to agree with that, but sometimes it can be a draw. But in this position, black has 2 pass pawns and white has only 1. So let's see who is the first. Black is trying to get both pawns on the second rank. Here we have a check. And that's a repetition. That's a repetition. What is that? And now rook comes on the first rank and it controls both pawns. King should... I think it's a draw. I think it's a draw. It's theoretical draw. Now go to the... Yeah, that's theoretical draw. King cannot get closer to any pawn. No. No, no, no. So, okay, let's... I think we can explain this. This is theoretical draw, as I remember. Here, king should come to g5, and whenever king goes to the second rank, the rook captures the pawn. So if king d3 here, then maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, then maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, probably I'm wrong. So maybe the pawns should be far away. That's how I'm gonna check for sure, but I don't have time for that now because we have more games in progress, and let's find it out. What's happening? Okay, this was a joke. This was a joke. How can you treat your opponent in this way? This one was a joke. Let's quickly see. No way. No way. How can you treat your opponent this way? No way. Okay, the other one can also resign earlier, but that was funny. This game ended in a draw. Bishop cannot win. Another victory here. And yeah, this one ended earlier. All right. Yeah, there was strange stuff. There was strange stuff with the queens on the board. 4 queens on the board. Also very risky. Also very risky business. Like if you remove all these pieces, you might have some bad result, some draw. One more game in progress. That's why I don't see the next game. And let's check this out. Oh no. Another end game which gonna last forever. It's gonna be draw anyway, and they're still playing because anything can happen. Anything can happen. White is trying to win this game because white has extra 10 seconds. So let's take a look at this one. I would also be scared to have more than 2 queens. 2 queens are already enough to be really dangerous and to have a character of stalemate. So yeah, 4 queens was really tricky. We don't need evaluation bar. Okay. Okay, this is round 2 only. I think in rounds 5, 6, 8 I will need evaluation bar. Or otherwise you can guys help me. Tell me if I'm wrong with evaluation. That's gonna be then a teamwork. Okay, next game. Here we have knight f3 first move. This is the game of Hikaru. We're gonna stack with him. We can't go anywhere. We can't go anywhere, but he's playing really good chess, so that's why we're stuck in here. But if you have any suggestions, just let me know. I will quickly go there and check out the games. For the moment, let me check how many players have 2 out of 2. That's 100%. Oh, there are plenty. It's gonna take me forever to get down and check all of these players. And on the way, I see some of them are also streamers. Yeah, that's gonna take me forever. 49 players. 49? Yeah, 49 players. Yeah, that's it for the 9 players. Also 454. Okay, that's suspicious. I should leave that. I should leave that here at this moment. So talking about this position, White pushed knight on d5 really quickly. This knight is beautiful there, but after bishop e7, I wonder if Hikaru considers to take f6, and he did it just right before I said he's faster than I speak. Queen b3 now. This move actually is against of castle, so if black castles here, then knight will jump with a check, and that's going to be dangerous. Maybe on f6, that's more comfortable. And if bishop comes on e6 to cover this diagonal, then black also has to consider the capture on b7 and knight d7 later on. That's really tricky, so that's why black is using here some time, and he jumps knight on e5 just to get rid of queen. And here we have a check. Maybe bishop d7 can be black's next move just to get rid of this queen. Queen has to come back on c2 or d1, and then black can castle. Let's check it out. Yeah, it took him a lot of time, and I see why I'm also losing on time, because the moves like this bishop d7 I'm losing most of the time. And here we had knight takes f6. G had to take on f6 because otherwise a5 knight was hanging. And here we have knight h5. White is trying to start some attack on the king side. As you can see, the king is exposed. Yeah, that's actually dark side of f pawn being pushed at the beginning of the game. So queen b6 looking for some counterplay on the queen side, but queen d2 easily stops everything. Also aiming to get on h6. Oh, we're on the main channel right now, so that's good. That's good. It means that we're gonna be more. So welcome everybody who just joined. And here we have Title Tuesday, round 3, and we're looking at this game where Hikaru is playing against Zubr. And the position, I would say position is really good for white. I would choose white here for sure because of the exposed king. White's idea is very simple: to attack the king with f4, f5, maybe later g4, g5. Why not? Everybody likes this kind of attack, and black, on the other hand, has a backward pawn on d6. Yeah, the main idea here, the main reason why I like white's position is that white has a clear plan. That's the attack on the king side, or even to attack on d6 can be both very strong. And black has difficulties to find here any plan. I can see only d5. Black has to push d5 at some point just to open up the position and create some danger for white. Ooh, that pawn. That pawn can be poison or can be really delicious. Let's see. Yeah, but black has no time. Black has no time. White has almost 2 minutes against 18 seconds. F5 next g5. That's gonna be really hard to avoid this move. G5 breakthrough. All right, king wanted to just run away like this, and at a safe place, but queen h5, is that pins the rook? No, it doesn't pin the rook. Bishop guards the rook actually. Okay, g5. Give us g5. Maybe knight g6, knight h8. Yeah, knight g6, knight h8 can be another move. And g5 can be the one that we're looking for so much. Okay, now this rook on f7 is hanging, so knight f4, beautiful move. Attacks the rook, and also this rook is hanging. Here we have queen f7 with a check. White gone an extra material, and the position is hopeless because after rook h8, There will be hard to hide the king. Rook h8. Oh, okay. So after this and queen e7, there is rook d7 move, which wins the queen. So for that reason, white got into the endgame where white has an extra exchange and a simple winning plan just to push the kingside pawns, create the pass pawn and queen. Yeah, I believe there is no counterplay here. After king takes f2 or g7. Yeah, g7 is easiest. We have a resignation. All right, let's get to the second board here. What is happening? What is happening here? You have it. Bishop g3, d8 queen. D8 queen is interesting. Yeah, d8 queen is interesting. Just voluntarily give this pawn. I would not give a pawn, but okay. Knight comes on c4, and now black is looking for something beautiful with bishop. Bishop f4, queen g6, g3 might be met by queen g2. So after b5, white had no time to make a move, and it's actually hard to find a move here because no matter where the knight goes, there will be some unpleasant discovery checks, and yeah, white will lose a knight, but this knight is anyway hugging. Oh, knight is dropped. Okay, knight is dropped. That's why he couldn't make a move. So after 95, here we have this discovery check and the resignation. All right, next game ended just like this. There is a checkmate, as you can see, with 2 rooks. We have plenty more games in progress. I will choose d1. Yeah, let's choose the game of Gupta. He lost the game. There is no rook in the knight for him, so he resigned. Who else do we have? Queen endgame. Queen endgame is also the one which lasts forever. Yeah, queen endgame lasts forever, and that's not often is a draw. Sometimes we have a result, but this endgame is that draw with a corner, not corner pawn, with the side pawn. The game is draw. There is no question about that. 2 last games. Susie Gaboyan. I think she's also streaming right now. Just checkmated her countryman. Oh wow. After this, there is a7 and a8 will be soon checkmate. And the last game here ended in white's favor. White has her extra rook and there's no time. So the next game started. Here we have the pairings. It's getting more and more exciting because you can see that the top players, opponents were 2400 at the beginning, but now we have 2700. So that's gonna get really interesting when they're gonna face each other. So far, we don't have some dramatical changes here. Yeah, and before I end that sentence, I just noticed that there is no Hikaru here at the first positions, but as you can see on the board right next to his photo, he has 3 out of 3. So yeah, he is one of the players who have 100%. And here we have the position, Reti opening, that starts with knight f3 first move. And this position looks really nice for white. As you can see, knight controls a5 square. That's beautiful square for the knight. For the moment, knight can't come on d3 because c6 pawn is hanging. And rook comes on c1. White is ready to open up the center and c file. That's not a problem for white, but definitely he doesn't want to trade the pieces here. Maybe knight d3 is the move he's considering, or f4 or knight f3. These are 3 moves that I would consider here. Knight d3. This is really nice position for white because there are many plans here for white, such as queen into f3-4 breakthrough of the center. As mentioned earlier, white can also take, get on c5. White can also get knight here on e5. Yeah, there are plenty of ideas. Oh, bishop d6. I like this with idea of c5 if needed, just to get this monster bishop here, controls both sides, and then can be some breakthroughs in the center. Knight e5 can be, this is a dream position for a d4 player or ready player. This is just dream position you can get. And on the other hand, it's so hard here to find a move for blacks. If black tries to get rid of the dark square bishop, first of all, white can also always come back with the bishop and maintain this bishop on the board. But on the other hand, this bishop kind of covers the king side, so king is not that much exposed. And after 94, white didn't really thought too much, just captured on e4. That's because he has always this f3 move, opening up f file. Yeah, this is nice position for white. What is that? Knight has no square. Knight has to come on g4, and after h5, knight has no square. What? Okay, now we need a bar. Now we need evaluation bar. Let me get it really quickly. Okay, so it says it's equal. After h5, what is happening? What I don't see. Is there knight f6 and queen h5? Yeah, but obviously after f6, Hikaru was thinking, and seems like he did not see that. He did not see that. Yeah, so this is the last round before our first break. The players will have a little break just to grab some drinks, get some fresh air, and just relax a little bit, because this tournament is quite long. 11 rounds is not easy to play at one breath. So wow, what's happening here? What is happening here? Black has a better position. White still has some chances because, as you can see, rook is a very active. Bishop is still a monster there. And there are how many pawns? Only 2 pawns. Only 2 pawns. If there are 3 pawns, it could be absolutely enough to play for a win. But here, white has to be a bit careful. Because it's not easy position. It's not easy position. And black has to be really fast. He's playing on 40 seconds in this position. Talking about World Cup and Title Tuesday, actually it's they are not really covering each other. Like the most strong players are coming at the second round, which starts the other days. So today at the World Cup, we still have first round, and many of the top players are not playing there. So we might have some of those players here in this event. And if you have a good connection, why not to just come here and play. So for the moment, white activated the pawns on the king side, and also king is quite active. Maybe we're gonna see something like king g3, king f4 moves. What white wants now with this is g5, and king comes on g4. What? He traded the rook? That's risky business. He traded the rook to get this pawn. And rook a6 looks so sad. The rook here on a6 cannot get into the game in next 2 moves at least, if not more. He's trying to now get into the game, be more active. But yeah, there was really sad rook on a6. Meanwhile, white had enough time to activate the king, rook d6, some intermediate move, not sure why he did that, but he did that, so we can't complain. And now rook takes on c6, and this should be fully winning for white. King e5, oh no, that's gonna be tough for black. F6 here, and then king comes on d5 and e4. Yeah, that's more than compensation here. And f7, f8 is unstoppable here. Wow, nice save, nice save. Although at the point of f6, when black played f6, it was a bit shaky position, this position. And h5. Next one, let's get in here, knight endgame. The bar says that it's equal. So white is trying to catch the pawn. Knight e7, knight f5 can be an idea. Yeah, this should not be hard to make a draw. This should not be hard to make a draw. Let me check if we have something more interesting. Okay, let's check the game of Renato Terry Julian against Mary Arapidze. Mary Arapidze is woman grandmaster and international master from Georgia, and he's one of those players who got most of the benefits from pandemic time, because she won as much as she could. All these events in online, I think she won most of those events in Georgia. So she's quite strong online player, but in this game she lost a piece and the pawns and so the game. Let's move forward with next games. Really hoping to find someone who we all know. Yeah, not easy to recognize them by the nicknames. But here we have another grandmaster playing against national master whose rating is really tricky. And here we have queen endgame. This should be draw. Here we have a draw. And this position is very complicated. This position is very complicated. Now white is losing d pawn, but bishop and two connected pass pawn usually are very strong. E6 now, then f6. No, king comes on g4, and this should be winning. This should be winning easily. Just gets here and then pushes these pawns on the light squares. This is how pawns are moving. They are moving at the opposite color as the bishop is. So here we have dark square bishop, and they're moving at the light squares, and they are not. It's not easy to stop these pawns. Next game, let's check this out. This ended already in a draw. Yeah. The final game here, we might see resignation really soon, because black has an extra queen. How long they are playing this position? Oh wow. Oh wow, they are playing so long. Knight is such a tricky piece. So they were playing this position quite a long period, because knight and king, they are stuck in each other and it's hard to get rid of them. But what black is doing here is just getting some of the squares from white, and then he's threatening checkmate. Oh, that kind of took a long, yeah. Tricky. And here we have a checkmate. All right, I think they have now break. And yeah, they have a break right now. Let's once again take a look at the standings. How many people has 100%? That means 4 out of 4. That is only 17 people. Only 17 people after out of 427. But all these people are super strong. You can see their rating are around 3,000. That's a lot. That's a lot rating. So we'll come back with the next round. Today we're gonna have in total 11 rounds. And please don't go anywhere, because I will be back very, very soon. Coming back at Title Tuesday, round 5 just started. Here you see the first moves in the game, and on the side you can also see the players who has 4 out of 4. I got myself into main channel of Chess.com, and I am now able to see all the comments. So please share your opinion about this tournament. If you have something interesting going on, just quickly let me know, and I will move in there. And also let me know who you think that's gonna win today. So here we have this game, and what is happening here? Like, we have so early push on the king side, which usually we don't see that much happening in Hikaru's game, but here we have it. Here we have it, and the question is where he's going to castle, on the long side or on the short side. Or he will remain the king in the center. That's also an option. Why not? Just to keep the king on f7. That's risky business, but he can do that. Myself, I would here castle on the long side. Yeah, let's be honest. Let's be honest. He's not going to castle on the long side. He's not. Let's be honest here. The king is not in danger. I mean, this king. For the moment, it's not in danger. On the other hand, he wants to start the king-queen side attack by himself. And b5 move was played just to avoid c4. That's what I found out after so many talks. I just find out that he wanted to just stop this pawn, open up the center, because his pieces might be really active and king is in the center. And right now he's thinking, and he got the king on f7. That actually makes sense, because this king also guards g6 g6 pawn. So now black has not to worry to defend that pawn, because if you take on f4 with any of your piece, with knight or bishop, white will take with a g pawn, and then on the open file, anything can happen, especially with h5 pawn pushed over there. So that's why he tries to avoid the traits. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. He anyway captured that, but white will be aiming g6 square for sure. There are some ideas with doubling the rook, and then sacrifice on g6, and then queen h5. That I would be really scared of. That's really risky business in my opinion. But he's trying to get this knight on e4. Just to control the center, and that's the best policy, to control the center, and then you can open up at any moment when there is a one king side attack. He can also push then c5. How white can find a way to get some complications here on the king side. For the moment, if rook captures and queen captures, that is easy to defend for black, because after queen g6 there's no further checks. Maybe he can play bishop e2, remove the queen, and then try to sacrifice on h5. That's what he's doing. And queen g8. Yeah, queen g8. Here we have bishop e2. Is this hanging right now? I think it's hanging. Rook takes, and bishop h5. Wow. Okay, bar is not moving that much. Let's see. No, he's not taking. He's not taking on g6. Yes. I don't know. What was there? What was rook g6? After the end of this game, we will come back and we will check on the board what was happening after rook g6. Queen g6 was happening. All right. He will not capture at this time either, because yeah, after rook g6, queen takes g6, and the pawn is guarded by the rook, and then another rook can come on g6. All right, the problem was solved here. The problem was solved. Knight comes on d6, and here we have a check. Not check. Here we have a perpetual, not a check. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's something that I did not really expect. The game ended in 27 moves with a draw, but white played really, really nicely. let's now move to, and yeah, I said earlier that we'll be checking this move here. So after rook takes g6 loses a game because bishop h5. That's what I was hoping for. But queen takes here on g6, and after this move we have another rook coming on g8. So this is actually losing for white. So that's why they did not really try both sides to go ahead and play for more, and they agreed on draw. Most agreed on draw. They repeated the moves. Let's check this game out. Oh wow, this is beautiful plan for white. For the moment, f6 square is controlled by the queen. And here we have g5, attacking the queen. All right, queen has to find here the square, queen e4. All right, that keeps actually knight h5, knight f6 still on the board, and additionally this pawn is hanging after that. So rook takes and pawn takes both possible, but white decided to take with the rook to have the control over the whole board. And if rook takes, then pawn takes, then knight h5, knight f6 still and is on the board. Now rook takes rook, and queen e6 wins a pawn. But he's not. He's one of us. He's not one of us. Or maybe he is now. Yeah, he's now. And he has knight on h5. That's even better. One more piece on the king side attack. Queen d1, queen d6. That's trades a queen. But the end game should be a winning for white, because there is extra three pawn, and only miracle can save here black's game, because f pawn is just coming f5 f6. And that's gonna be unstoppable. King e4, knight has to move. All right. We have a little bit difficulties here for white. Let's see, f6. Oh no, the bar went too much up. Takes, and actually black is in better situation, because this b1 square is with a check. All right. Queen captures the pawn, and here we have a draw. Wow, that was strange. That was strange, but happens. Even if you have 3 pawn extra, you might not win a game. That's kind of, that happens in chess. Yes, not often, but that happens. Let's move quickly to the next game. What do we have over here? All right, here we have with black pieces a streamer, as I know, because I remember once she rated me. I remembered her nickname. She's a women grandmaster playing against a grandmaster from Germany, and the position is dead draw. This is yeah, the position is dead draw. And here we might see already draw. No, not yet, not yet. They're still playing. Okay. Yeah, I wonder who tries to win here. Who is hoping for a win? What do you guys think? Who's trying hoping for a win? Black or white? Or both? I think both. I think both. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And rook g5. Here we have a draw. Wow, amazing. 110 moves. 110 moves. Okay, let's get to the next game. What do we have here? This game has already ended. This game has already ended, and here we have white lost on time. not only on time but also there is a fork. So that's why it's so hard to play against two pieces when you have a rook, because they are two and they control more squares. That's why it's hard to play against them. Let's see some other game. Oh, this is beautiful. Checkmate with the rook and the pawn. Another win in here. Is a checkmate in few moves. All right, the next round has already started. And we have less and less people with 100%. So for the moment, you can see we have 6 people with 5 out of 5. 6 very strong people here. All right, let's take a look at their games. Yeah, this is one of the top boards, and here we have the situation when we don't have very often in chess. We have crazy tension in the center. No one wants to break this tension, and no one wants to be the one who captures the pawn. I would like these positions to play with white pieces because I like to have this pin here. But on the other hand, black perfectly well managed to develop all the pieces, and black is the one who breaks the center with d takes c. He opens up the bishop, knight comes on c4. The position should be close to equal. Now another pawn is captured, and the question is where or how white is going to capture. There's a rook, knight, and bishop possibility, but here Hikaru goes with a pawn. He wants to have an isolated pawn, and he is hoping for some attacks, some sacrifices. Maybe 95, knight f7 later. 95 is beautiful move. He comes from c4 to e5. It also opens up this diagonal here. So black now decided to get this knight back on b8 and get knight on d7 probably, because knight a6 was not the best piece for black. Yeah, knight d7 here makes sense, but there might be some sacrifices. Not yet. White is getting ready, I think, with some h5, knight e4. Knight comes on c4 now, and black is come for perfectly well controls a d5 square and blocks the isolated pawn. But that's not enough. He has to swipe up some of the pieces of the board. Just otherwise, white has two active pieces. Maybe this and this. Yeah, he's going for 96, and here we have bishop trade. Yeah, black should watch out for this kind of sacrifices here. Rook c2. What he's doing now, trying to do is just to double the rooks on c file and then remove the knight from c file and just to activate the rooks. Time is more or less close here in this game. We don't have much of time difference. I have this kind of feeling that at some point we're gonna see here a sacrifice on g6 or on f7, like it usually happens in the isolated pawn position. Queen c8, rook c8 now controls the c file. Maybe queen b4. Queen b4, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, and queen h6 loses the pawn on h6. But on the other hand, he has really active queen. Can capture on b3. Let's see how he's going to continue this game. All right, h5. So that means that in that line, maybe black wants to play queen b4 and h6 is not hanging anymore. That makes sense. That makes sense. And the trade of the pieces is in favor for black because the isolated pawn gives you an advantage, space advantage, and you can activate your pieces. But if you don't have enough pieces, then it's just a weakness on d4. And black very comfortably come with the king in the center and start to attack this pawn if queens are off the board. Knight c3. Now bishops will be off the board. And another knight can come on d5 to guard the front on c3. Now he's coming back with the c knight back because he wants to keep this knight just close to the king. That makes sense. I would play a6 b5 here just to open c5, and he's going a6. So hard to find here any plan for white. It's really hard. White has to wait wait for the mistake that opponent might make. For the moment, all the weaknesses are well defended for black, and they're actually not too much. As we mentioned, these knights create some threats here and here, and for the moment, the king guards these two squares, and we don't have any of these sacrifices. Queen a8 was a beautiful maneuvering here on this diagonal, and we have also rooks off the board, and here we have it. Here we have it. I was talking so much about this sacrifice. That's finally it's here. It's here. Knight f4. And here we have a resignation, or no, lose on time. It's not a resignation, a lose on time, because it's hard to make a move here. g6 pawn is hanging, e6 pawn is hanging with a fork actually. But let's come back a little bit, because in this position after knight takes f7, yeah, king cannot capture this. Knight e5. All right, he was afraid of this. I would capture this though. Here with queen f3, f7 ideas, and I don't know, queen here. It's extra piece. Yeah. All right, that was the game. Yeah, nice sacrifice. He was just waiting for his moment to sacrifice a piece there. Which game should we check right now? We don't have much of the games in progress. Let's start from here. Queen endgame. That's gonna be a draw if queens are off the board. Yeah, it's impossible to win because black is just going after a pawn. Is he really going for after? Yeah, and king a4 is a draw. What do we have? 2 games. All right. Ooh, okay. Rook and the pawn versus queen. This is tricky position. I think it's winning, but it's tricky. No, it's not winning. The bar says it's not winning. I put this bar here to help me, and I'm not watching at that. I have to use it. I have to use it. It's draw. The bar says it's a draw. Let's trust him or she. All right. What? There was a horrible blunder. No, and white won this game. We have to see this. We have to see this. It was a perfect time. We came here on the right time. So the game is, according to the bar, the game is draw. Hold on. Where is it? No, no. We lost the game. No way. I hope you guys catch that. I hope you guys catch that game because I lost it. It was so funny game. It was really funny game and also heartbreaking game because you know. But I'm sure both players were happy in the end. What was that? What was that? I really want to see that game. All right. All right, hard to get in there. Hard to get in there. I don't want to make some complications here because I'm not good at these things. Let's continue to watch the game of Hikaru and Nabati, Israeli grandmaster. He's super strong grandmaster. I think he's at World Cup. Oh no, he's not at World Cup. I think players from Israeli they have some restrictions to travel, so he might not be in at the World Cup. I don't know if you guys have some information about that. You might let me know. Uh-huh. There okay. In our comment, you guys are saying that there might be a nice gesture after mouse sleep, this queen d5. I thought itself it was a mouse sleep. Oh wow, that can be, yeah, that can be. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would never do that. So for me it's really hard to get this kind of ideas. But you're right. I think you're right. That was the case. And I wanted to speak a little bit about that player. She's a Georgian chess player, female chess player, and who won some tournaments lately. And yeah, we're hoping for the best of future for her. And seeing here at the stage among the leaders is really nice. So here we have this end game already. Let's talk about this. We already reached to the end game, so I feel more comfortable to talk in here. Here we have d5, beautiful outpost for the knight. Knight might jump on d5 at any moment. Black has d4 outpost, but it's gonna take forever for the knight to get in there. There's 97, knight b8, knight c6, 94 move, but that's, as I said, it's gonna take forever. So for the moment, he's not going to get on d4, maybe later in the end game, like in the bishop and knight end game. So in this case, white is hoping for capture on d5, knight gets on d5, and then knight to get on d4. Again, long way, but it's possible. G6 is a pawn sacrifice, but also on the other hand stops f5, and white did not capture it because this pawn on e5 is not the strong one, it's double pawn, and double pawns are usually not supported by the other pawns on the side. So that's why Nabati here didn't even consider to take on e5, but instead he managed to centralize the king. Centralize the king is important in the end game because from the center the king can go very easily on the queen side and also on the king side, or just remain in the center. So it's perfect position. And here we have knight b8, knight c6, knight d4 on the board, and once again black is hoping for a knight d5 and bishop d5 move. In that case, black will have a beautiful knight on d4 versus light square bishop. But hard to say that one of the side has here any perspective to win. As you can see, there are not much of the weaknesses in neither's position. So f5 here, white is trying to get some outpost on e4 for the knights just to attack the black's pawn. But of course, black is just ignoring that and keeping the pawns on the board. Maybe just take and g4 to create another pass pawn here. That can be black's idea. Yeah, that can be black's idea. Here, and h5. Let's see. If h5 immediately, then that can be taken, or that can be answered by g5. White is thinking. White played bishop on b1. This is waiting move. This is waiting move. It doesn't brings any value for the moment. That means that he's just waiting for the opponent to make a mistake, or maybe he's happy with a draw. Oh, it was Hikaru who played h6. Yeah. 95. We might have here repetition. All right, white. Can white push the pawns on the queen side? For the moment, a3 is impossible because b3 is hanging, and if not a3, if b4, that the pawns will be not connected. They'll be unhappy pawns. I'm not sure if white wants to do that. King comes on f2. If king gets on king side, there is not much of the perspective for the king. I lost the power of making arrows. I don't know why. Oh no, I lost the power of it. Okay. So after king g7, white is thinking here a lot. White is thinking for breakthrough g5. It's not possible for the moment because black can simply take it. Instead, he goes for knight e3. Maybe he wants to get knight on f5, but that's gonna be really tricky. No, he's not going to do that. He's just repeating the moves with the knight, and it's good time to repeat the moves because white is down on the time. Yeah. Black on the other hand, some has some plan to start the queen side attack. I really need this power to make arrows. I can't do that. All right. So what is this position? Knight on d4 is a beautiful knight. That's what we predicted earlier. A knight versus bishop. Um, Maybe at some point black will push a4. Knight to 3 a4 can be a move. He's actually going for a2 pawn, and it's not easy to defend that. Oh wow, white might lose this game. White might lose this game. That's gonna be really hard to imagine that you are losing the game where it was just equal position from very early beginning. They are trying some maneuvering over here, and here we have e4. Bishop cannot capture it because knight captures it. No, a4 immediately. All right, a4 immediately, and now black has a passed pawn on b file. King e5, beautiful activation of the king. Knight comes on d6 now. Is there king d4, king c3? Yes, he's going for that. Yeah, king c3 can be next move. I'm not sure about this maneuvering because now knight is that's a greedy knight. That's a greedy knight. Okay, it ended really well for black because now taking pawn and then push b pawn and king and 2 pawns versus bishop. It's impossible to stop. All right, this game ended. Let's check out the next game. What do we have over here? White won in this game. And here we have another draw in the rook end game. We have 4 games left. Not really. Here we have extra queen. All right, rook end game. This can be a draw. This can be a draw. Because black cannot find the square to hide the king from checks, and there's no way to improve this position. And you can see here, black is desperately trying to get some square for the king now. The best scenario is when you have pawn on a3 and you have a spot on e2, but the pawn is already a2, so it's gonna be really hard. to win the game. Okay, the next game started, and I will be be focused on here because here we have Hikaru versus Giga Hoparadze. Giga is Georgian chess player that I was talking earlier. He's playing Title Tuesdays every week. I guess he never missed. And once he won the tournament, and after that victory, he was a star in Georgia media, and he had lots of interviews just because he won a Title Tuesday. This is really awesome. Talking about Giga, he's a bullet player, or even in classical chess. And for many of his opponents, it's a bit annoying because he plays games in few seconds. Really seconds. He's pre-moving the next moves. Sometimes after the end of the game, he has 1 hour and 40 minutes, like 10 minutes increment on the clock, which is I know, which is a bit annoying for many of the players. But for us, it's not anymore because we know him. He cannot spend time. He's playing extremely fast. Yes, so that's why he's quite strong blitz and rapid player, and we have several tournaments in Georgia, Grand Prix series, and he's winning most of those events. So here we have Giga against Hikaru. They both have 6 out of 6. Let me quickly check who are those players who have them 100%. And we don't have any of those players. Actually, Giga and Hikaru, they are 2 players who are sharing first and second places. So we are at the right place. All right, it's now time to talk about chess. Queen e5 threatens the c7 pawn. Black ignores this pawn and sacrifices this pawn. I think he's aiming to get triple pawns on c file for the opponent. And now the question is if he's going to get into the rook and bishop endgame, and here we have it. Well, white has an extra pawn, but triple pawns. This is a matter of taste. I think I would play here with black. I love bishop a3 here. Just blocks this pawn. There's no a4 a5 breakthrough. What can be next? Next can be just king f7, king e6, just to centralize the king. And let's see. So this game is very important. After this game, we're gonna have a very short break. The players will also have a break. So this game is very important for both of them. If they make a draw, they will both keep in sharing the first place. Or we might have one happy person and one unhappy person after this game. Let's see how they're gonna play. I still like black's position here. And as you can see, there is an extra pawn for white, but white cannot create any passed pawn on the queen side. White has some ideas to push a pawn to create some weaknesses on the queen side, but also has a weaknesses here on c3, weakness on c3, so he has to take care of it. I think this game might end in a draw. Another double pawns on a file. Okay, but black is not taken because if black takes on f4, then this pawn controls e5 and this pawn controls d5 squares, 2 central squares. That's what white hoped for, just to control these squares. And we're gonna have a bishop endgame. What is that? And bishop a8. Bishop a8, starting to grab some pawns. No, he's going back. He's trying to play a safe game. King comes on d3 to guard c3 pawn, and then he will activate the bishop. But there's not enough weaknesses in opponent's position to attack. So who thinks that's gonna be a draw? Who thinks that's gonna be a draw? Also, the time is not there's no huge difference here on time, like 20 seconds, not more. A6 b5 is a plan, but it might be good for white. He anyway stops this idea. Yeah, hard to find the target. He's just moving his bishop there and here. Can't find anything. I don't know if here Hikaru is a magician to make any weaknesses in opponent's position. And he put it also this setup with the pawns. They are on the dark squares, but it's also hard to access in white's position. So here we have a draw. Very quickly, let's take a look at the moment when they trade the rooks here. I thought it was something after this move. Okay, takes, and bishop a5. That's why they did not go for this position. But again, this also looks quite drawish. Let's get to the boardings game. It's hard to get bored in his games, as he's always playing complicated chess. After rook e7, black is winning a2 pawn. It's impossible to capture this rook because there's a back rank checkmate. White should be really careful with the first rank here. Bishop d6. I like this move. Now rook is ready to discover check, and white is winning here a piece. White is winning a piece, and I think white will win also a game. So this might be an upset here for Ukrainian grandmaster. Yeah, it's a checkmate. Beautiful. It's a checkmate. Quickly move to the next game. Here we have a resignation because after king goes on f6, white is winning a queen. Let's take a look at the games. We have several games in progress. After end of all these games, then we will quickly take a look at the standings and the leaders, and we will go to the second break. All right, let's see this game. Yes, Pam. I think we have some of his fans in the chat, so let's focus on this game. Pair of bishop versus rook and the bishop. Oh no, that was a horrible blunder. At the moment I was saying that I think it's better to play here with a pair of bishop and 2 pawns. He blundered this terribly. Oh no. Oh no. And he's down in time too. All right, now it's a matter of the technique. Black has to activate the king. Oh, how black is going to win this? That's a good question. It's a good question because the bishop guards on g3 guards d6 square, and h2 pawn guards g3 bishop. So the idea here is to squeeze the king in the corner with the king, bishop, and the rook. How smart is that? How smart is that? And the king is in the corner already. Still not easy to find here a winning plan. Wow, that's nice. No way that it's gonna end in a draw. Bishop g6. Come on, play bishop g6. And now we have a checkmate. And not yet. All right. What? Well, okay, he wanted to make a draw, but it's strange. If you want to make a draw, just read the moves. That was a risky way to make a draw. All right. Let's get to the other games. Maybe we have something interesting. One last game for this round, and white has completely winning position. This is pawn and game. The king is at the wrong place. So this was the last game of this round. We have 8 players with in the top places. They have 7 points out of 8. Now it's time to get on break. I'm coming back really soon, and seems like the things are getting more and more interesting. So please don't go anywhere. I'll be coming shortly. coming back with the first game already. Here we have on the board, and they are playing so freaking fast. Here we have another time Hikaru gave a bishop for the knight, not sacrifice, just to trade the bishop for the knight to get d5 centralized knight. I think that's a very nice idea here because knight blocks the center and controls both of the sides, and white is ready to start the attack on both sides. Now the question is where he's going to castle, on the long side or on the short side. If he castles on the long side, that's going to be a bit tricky because the pawns are already advanced here, but he's going on the short side. That actually makes here some sense to get the king at the safer side. The question here is how he's going to continue to play, maybe f4, f5 ideas, but this gives also black an opportunity to open up the bishop, which will be super strong. What he's doing here, GM Castor, is trying to get the knight on c5, beautiful maneuvering. At some point he can also get knight e6, knight d4. If the knight removes from c2 square, this can be, as I mentioned, an idea here. Black is going to pin the knight, but that's only one move strat. Now black has to find another idea. Here comes knight e6 with knight d4, and here we have knight coming back on c2. All right, now black has to find a plan, because without a plan it's hard to play chess. What that can be? That is awkward move. Rook a6. That is really awkward move. He wants to guard d6 pawn, so the queen can move anywhere he wants to get. It's impossible to start queenside play because b4 pawn will be hanging. If black starts to push f5, that can be really challenging because white can take, a rook has to take, and that can be under f4 move. So maybe black's plan is just to maneuvering a little bit, remain this position, not to open any more files or diagonals, just to play this position. Yeah, to equalize the game with the black piece should not be really bad thing. For the moment, knight cannot move from f3 because this knight controls d4 square. I was thinking about moving the knight queen's f3 and knight f6 idea, but that's only one check. So also for white, it's hard to find here any powerful plan. So we might see here a little bit of maneuvering and waiting right moments to attack or to wait an opponent to make a mistake. Wow, now maybe we can see king on h3 after some changes. No, bishop comes on g4. I like this move. I like this move very much. f5 can be a next move here for black. Or knight e6, knight d4 is still on the board. Instead, he's going for king g7. We might think that he is thinking to either open h5 with g5 or just to move the queen, so there will be not knight f6 check. So actually, yeah, king on g7 makes sense to be. So here we have little bit of changes. I really believe that black should open the f file because at the moment black is really strong on the king side. Oh, I like this move. Rook f1 with either knight f6 or rook f6, just to block it. f5 here we have f5 that gives white an advantage. As you can see, the bar went really fast up there, but this is a blitz game. They don't see bar, as we can see here, so this can be some sort of chances here for black. g4 that offers black to trade the pawns, and knight will be active, and that will leave black king extremely open. You might ask, like, okay, what about white king? It's also open, but there are like few pieces around this, starting with the pawn on h4. So that's a little bit in better for white. And what actually he's doing here, he's not capturing g4 pawn. For now, there was some sort of shield, I would say, but he did it. He captured it. All right, now f6 square is something really tempting for the knight and the rook as well. What else? Queen should get somewhere. Queen should get somewhere on f file possible. Knight can capture the bishop, and then rook can come, and then queen can come. So, all right, white is considering here many things, and what he's playing is a sacrifice on e5. Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful sacrifice, because after d takes c, queen comes on e5, and king has not a good square because knight f6 wins a queen. And here we're gonna see discover check knight f8 or knight f4 wins piece. Knight f8. He's looking for some beautiful checkmate, I guess. 97 and queen e6. The bishop on h6 is hanging. Hard to defend this position. And here we have a resignation. Let's quickly move to the next game. This can be our next game. Yeah, you can also see some of the leaders games. Oh, this is losing position for black. White has an extra piece, but this piece is for 3 pawns. But as you can see, knights and the rook, they're knight f7 checkmate. That was hard to see. That hard in our eyes. Let's move to the game of Hikaru Sergey. Yeah, I have seen him playing a lot of online tournaments. Yeah, I think I have seen him at Arena Kings as well. So let's check it out what he's doing here, how he's doing in here. White has an extra exchange, but look at this pawn. This pawn is extremely strong, and that keeps rook on c1 stuck here forever, and white cannot do it anymore. And here we have a sacrifice of the exchange, but in this position, black has an extra pawn, and now it's just a matter of the technique. How good is black's technique? Hello everybody who just joined the chat. Yeah, and if you're wondering how my last name is a sound, it's very easy. It's very easy. First part ta, second part ta, they are same. Ta ta la shvili. That's the easy way. If you just pronounce that 2 times or 3 times, 4th time will be easier, I promise. But you can just call me Katy. That's my first name and easiest one. All right, what we have here, black has 2 extra pawns, but somehow white's pieces got really active, really active. Rook and the bishop, they're trying to create some sort of checks, not checkmate in threats, but checks are on the board. Another pawn is gone, and 3 extra pawns should be winning. We have seen a game with 3 extra pawns in the knight endgame, ended not the way we thought. But this is winning position, and as I mentioned, what is that? What is that? Still, the position is so good for black. Black should not lose this. Maybe now, because the bishop on g4 is a not... What? No way, there was a mouse sleep. There was a mouse sleep. I see in the chat you said that I'm getting surprised when I see some blunders. Actually, I'm not, because I'm surprised how they dare to blunder, because it's funny to see. I should not be a bad person if I say that it's funny to see, right? Let's get to this position, to this game. And here we have another again game, and how long are they going to play? This is move 106. It's gonna be at least 100 and 15, I bet. You guys can also bet numbers. So for the moment is 108. There was a pure mouse slip, rook f7, but the position in the previous game was already lost, because he the previous one was previous move was really bad. It was a blunder, so we had like several blunders in a couple of seconds. All right, 114 and 115. The game ended in a draw. Wow, that's good. That's good. We guessed that correct, and the next game has already started. Hovitzer, is that Hovitzer is a Howell, David Howell, from England? I cannot see the photo is really small. I need to zoom my eyes or get really close to the screen, but that will get me really close to the camera, and I'm not sure if that's a good idea. So if you guys know that this is David Howell playing with white pieces, that makes me think that he's playing from Russia right now. All right, we have here a Nimzo Indian, with a3 variation. a3 is not the common move, but that move gives white pair of bishop, as you can see. But black has a fast development here. White's king side is still not developed. And for the moment, if e-pawn is pushed, then bishop takes bishop, white will lose the right to castle. That's possible. Then white will start to artificial castle. Yeah, you know what I mean. He will get the king at the right place. That's g2. But he's waiting for the moment. He's waiting. White is waiting. Played rook c1. This rook usually comes on c5. That actually avoids c5 pawn to be pushed. And now white has to make a decision either to push g3 or to push e3. You can do both. You can really do both. But it's up to white. Yeah, what I mean that after e3, bishop takes, king takes. Then at some point, white can play g3, king g2, artificial castle. Here it goes. We might see this. We might see it on the board. I have seen some games where king actually comes on e2 and tries to pretend that that's the end game and I need this king here. Oh wow, queen cannot take on f6 because c7 pawn is hanging. That's why white played rook c1 was really beautiful move. King comes on a2. Yeah, he's claiming that this is the end game, no matter that the queens and the both rooks are on the board. This is still end game. I feel very safe here with this king. I'm not afraid, and is asking for black, like how you're going to develop your queen side. For the moment, knight d7 will be a loss of a pawn on c7. He's pushing for c6, but then on the other hand, gets knight on b8 really passive. Oh, beautiful. I like this. He's trying to get the rook from 7th rank. Yeah, I like this one. We might see some queen b3 move. Trying to get this pawn pushed. This will be really bad because then on c5 there's a beautiful outpost. But instead here black goes for rook b7. Very solid move. Waiting move, rook d2. That actually does not show us the cards that he wants to get on c2 semi-open file. Worth to mention that the king side pawns are not the perfect for black. And white might find some way to use this fact. And here we have c5. I would be scared to play this move. I would be really scared. It's a Howell, right? It's a Howell. Yeah. All right, rook takes c. And now we have not the best pawn structure for black. And white, on the other hand, has perfect pawn structure. A very nice position. He's now trying to get knight at the better place. I think that's c4 square just to guard b2 b2 pawn. king comes on g8 just to defend h2 pawn, and here we have white castled already. And next he pushes h3 because it's always good to watch out for the back rank. Especially in the blitz, this kind of moves can be played really fast. You are not making any weaknesses with that, but in the long perspective, in the end game, it can be really helpful. Knight comes on c4, that blocks the pawn c4 to be pushed, and more importantly, the b2 pawn is well defended. Black is ready to give up now c5 pawn after taking on e5. White can take on c5, but on the other hand, he will give up b2 pawn, and this will get us into the rook endgame where black can easily hold that position. So what he's trying here with white is to, after take on c4, rook comes on c4. This is nice. b2 pawn is guarded by the queen, and he's also looking for queen g4. No. Then what is the... Then... Oh, why queen e2 if he wanted to trade the pieces? He could do it this position, and it was his move. David Howell. Maybe he had some tricky ideas and it didn't work. So we might here see a draw because there are several weaknesses for black's position, but it's not enough. It should not be enough. Yeah. And the most important in the rook game is to keep the pieces active. Even if you have to give up one pawn or two, the most important is to keep your rook active and also king active. Rook is quite active. I cannot say the same about the king, but king has to be at this position. Okay, he's trying to get at better square on e7. And he's just moving. For white, it is risk-free free game. And now we have, oh wow, the position repeated 3 times. I think white did not really expect this one. If he knew he would push e4, just this move, and yeah, nice game from both players. So we can move to the next game. Oh no, white has an extra queen. White has an extra queen, and there is no chance here to make any perpetual or any trick. We might have here resignation really soon. Okay, let's see for a beautiful end. Knight comes and knight takes e5 should be a pre-move, and that can be the end. So here we have many of the games still running. All right, let's check this out. All right, white has here the winning position because white has an extra pawn on a5. That's a pass pawn. On the other hand, the pieces, white pieces are very active, and after is f6, here we have a timeout. Also very hard to play because after g takes f, bishop comes on e4, then queen comes on the light squares. Oh, that's gonna be really tough to defend. So here we have victory for white. Moving to the next game, here we have a beautiful checkmate with the queen and the rook and the pawns. How about this game? All right. This is endgame with extra pawn for white, active king, and active pieces. But still, this is matter of the technique. And now e7, e8 comes there. But what he's really trying to do? Oh no! Oh no! No! So he was afraid to play e8 queen to promote the queen because knight was really slow to catch the pawn. They play too fast. And the bar says that it's equal. The bar says that it's equal with extra queen. A queen for knight and the pawn. And now black is winning because we have a blunder. Oh no. This game is winning because we have a centralized pawn. If the pawn is on the like A, H, F, and C, the game is draw. But this is easily win. Oh no! It was a pre-move. No. What was that? What was that? What was that? Interesting, interesting. Actually, it's good that we came here on right time. So everything started at this point. Let's see once again. Let's see once again. Here, I need the help of the bar. Bishop is okay. This is fine. Here should be winning. E8 should be winning, right? Just a queen. Just a queen. I think he was avoiding knight and the bishop endgame. I don't know. Here we have this one. So this is already equal. He did not promote it. I think he could promote and then try to get the knight from here and here. So here we have this one. And this was winning for black. And here, queen, yeah, c1 queen simply wins. But it was a draw there. I don't know why it was draw, but bar says so. And then we have this game. Is still draw after king c7, but king d7 loses a pin. And it's completely winning. All you have to do, you have to force the king to be in front of the pawn. And this was a pre-move. I'm sure this was a pre-move. Like black would never thought that white could go on g8, and well done, white. So after king 8, white plans to get king on e4 just to get closer, and here he got under the promotion of the queen. So it ended in a draw. What a dramatic game it was. What a dramatic game it was. Also fun to watch. Now, the next game has already started. This is a really critical game. Here we have two leaders, two players that are usually playing this tournament, and also Arena Kings. I have seen them playing a lot among the leaders. So here we have Hikaru now goes with h3 Sicilian, and he's trying to fianchetto bishop. Once again, he has this opportunity of knight for the knight to get on d5. Let's see if he's going for bishop g5, bishop f6 straight. No, he's not doing that in this position. I think this is still the line of the knight door with h3. Where black actually pushes the queenside pawns relatively too fast, I guess. But I think he knows what he's doing. We might see here castle. We might see here bishop g5 can be something that white should consider after knight d5, queen d5, the rook is hanging, bishop is hanging. That's tricky position. Hikaru is thinking, this is suspicious. He's thinking, usually he's not thinking this much. And now he decides to get the bishop. He wants to get the bishop on g5 and to get the pin. We got it. Sometime later, but we got it. And then in the long perspective, white can actually start to maneuvering the knight and get on d5. It is possible. I know you might think that c3 square is taken, but there are e3 square as well, or they can be c3 pushed, and the knight will get eventually on d5 at some point. But for now, black is suffering from suffer, and he just gets out from the spin. This is, I think, very correct decision. If white captures, then pawn captures, g-file is open. We might see here some attack on the king side. c3 here, white also tries to open up the center on the queen side just to get the knight on the d5, and black says, okay, you can get your knight on d5, but I will have my knight on b4. So that's why he played knight on e6. f4 opens the f file. There might be some moves like h4 here. I would not surprised to see this move at some point. Yeah, f takes, f6. The f7 is well guarded by the bishop. If white pushes the pawn, there will be bishop c4, bishop e3. For the moment, black is also holding the position, and black has really active pieces. I don't know which side to choose. The bar says it's slightly better for black. Yeah, but I don't know. If you are the player who feels comfortable to have a centralized king in the middle game, you can choose black. But myself, being a Sicilian player, in many lines I have king in the center, and that is quite okay. Queen e2, maybe he's aiming to trade the queens in this order and then to get e5 uh, weakness to attack. Let's see if he's going to play. All right. Here we have open a file, and Druk has a target now on f6. We might see here some rook doubling on a file. That's gonna be really tricky. That's gonna be really tricky. This is the last round. This is the last round. I forgot to check that it was the last round. How come? How come time went so fast? No way. This is the last round. So we're gonna learn who is the winner. Oh wow. So Giga Paparazza is the sole leader for now. It's he has 9 points out of 10. Georgian Power, very good. But I believe that there are some games still in progress which are very important. So let's keep all the eyes in this game. Wow, there was a last game. So this time went really fast. I thought 11 rounds are it's too much, and I would feel really tired. But no. So let's see who will get top three places. Actually, top four places are getting prizes in this tournament. So coming back at this game, Black still has better position because the pawns are blocked, and Black actually managed to get these pawns farther. And at some point, Black might break through these pawns on the queen side. H2, H5 pawn is not defended. What Black is doing here is getting ready for this breakthrough. Maybe he also wants to trade the queens. The end game should be really pleasant here to play for Black. If White goes for H5 pawn, then Rook takes here, and Rook gets really active. White is trying to keep the queens on the board. Maybe he wants to take H5 with the queen, and here we have no A3. Oh wow, what was that? Was that really necessary? Rook takes, and now knight comes on A4, attacks the pawn, but White really fast played Rook bishop D1. I think Black missed that move, and in the end we have Rook trade and no A pawn. I think it was not a good deal for Black. Yeah, I think Black could wait a little bit. Wow. But the bar says still that it's equal. It actually makes sense because knight here on a4 attacks b2 pawn. That makes queen to be stuck on e2 or on e file to guard this. And look at this king being so active and so brave in the center. The king is a Hulk here coming on d6, blocking the pawns. f6 now should be guarded. Knight comes on e4. Okay, I see. Queen wants to come on d2 at some point if queen leaves second rank. I still believe that the endgame is better for Black. Hulk is going back on e7 to guard f7 pawn. d6. Oh no. That is a risky business. That is a risky business. And White is just pushing the pawn on h file. I believe that I strongly believe that Black has a lot of regrets already at this point, and here we have a resignation. Beautiful game, but there was several mistakes here from Black side, and yeah, we see this end of the game. So let's now see another game which is in progress. So here we have two rooks on the board. Tricky. So these rooks are stuck on c file. They can't get out for the moment unless they're getting one of the white pawns. Maybe now it's time. Now or never. Yeah, that's completely winning for white. And now here we have a queen. I don't really expect here any mouse sleep or some blunders, but you never know. You never know. We have seen some of them. Yeah, checkmate. Rook h3 was pre-move there. Last games. No, I don't want this to end. It was so much fun. But seems like this is the end. This is the last round. I don't think if we're gonna have some of the changes, but we already have the first and the second places as a guarantee here, Hikaru and Giga. Let's find some more games in progress. This is that draw. It's hard to push even the pawns. And this is waiting for white. That is extra material also for white. And one last game in progress. Okay, this is winning for white as well. Little bit of technique is required here, but it's still winning. King comes on f7. No, king comes on f7. Knight g7 now is a stalemate. Yeah. So the game ended or not? Yeah, the game ended in a draw. No. No. It was winning, but I think they repeated 3 times. But anyway, maybe I'll show very quickly if we have time. I'm not sure about that. But congratulations to Hikaru. He won another tournament. I think no one is surprised with this result. Then we see Giga here with the second place. Actually, they shared first to second places. And then we have Nabati with 9 points. We have plenty of players with 9 points. Let me quickly take a look at the final. No, not really. So we have Nabati and we have Shikalko, who also got the prize. David Howell is out of top 4, and Chess Warrior is also out of top 4. However, they shared the third to 6. They shared the third to 6. So congratulations to everyone. There is also one female chess player who got the prize, and there's also one streamer who got the prize. Congratulations to everybody. So hard to say goodbye, but I have to do it. But before that, before I go, I really wanted to quickly, I'm a real chess player, wanted to show this king here, then push g6, get the knight on g6. And it's still not checkmate, so whatever. I thought it was a checkmate, but not. And it's time to say a goodbye. And it's time to say goodbye. Please come for the next week at this event. But before the next week, we have tomorrow the World Cup commentary and many other events. Just always be here online. You will be updated with all the events that Chess.com is providing, and also play chess every day. All right, this has been Woman Grandmaster Katie Tazalashvili. You can also check me out at my personal channel, Let's Chess Live. If you can forget that, I think we're gonna have a link here. Yes, we have a link here. So I stream with my friends at this channel, and it was a lovely time for me to do this commentary. And thank you very much, everybody, to be in the chat and to be so supportive. And now it's time to end the stream. You guys gonna see now some of the events which are coming on chess.com. So bye for now. See you very soon.